Hey everyone, it's Paige of Pure Vita Performance, your cycling, nutrition, and mindset coach and coach to the Pure Vita Mavericks, and I'm coming to you today with a cycling tip. So I was out for a really amazing ride yesterday to one of my favorite places from where I'm from called Carthew Bay. It's got this really cool money shot. And something that I noticed pretty much every cyclist that I came upon, there was this one thing that they weren't doing. I think there was maybe one that was. And what I was seeing was, because when you ride out to this place that I ride, it's very, very flat. And so what I was seeing was people getting really bogged down in their gears. So we're talking about cadence. So, one of the reasons why you want to have a higher cadence, so typically recreational riders will be in and around 70 RPMs. And for those of you who are, doing it for exercise and fitness, sometimes you'll often think that harder is better. So if I push a big gear and I get that burn in my thighs, it means that I'm working harder and therefore because I'm doing more work, I'm burning more off. That's actually not true. Well, it is and it isn't. But if you want to be a cyclist, then you want to get your cadence up. And so the ideal number that you want to aim for is between 85 and 90 RPM. For those of you who don't know what that means, it's the amount of times your foot goes around in an entire circle, so revolutions per minute. One of the best ways to figure this out is to get it by computer. And I actually recommend this to all of my clients, especially those who are beginners, because, I really don't care about speed at this point, when you start learning. It's more about learning about, how to ride properly, how to ride to be more efficient. So when you have a higher cadence, you're more efficient. You're not burning through as much glycogen in your muscles to power the bike and propel it forward. The other thing that what cadence does is it helps you choose your gears. So a lot of women will come to me and say how frustrated they are with gearing. And one of the best ways to get that figured out is, well, number one, to ride more, so that you can get figuring it out. And then number two is to get it by computer, so that you can actually see. So you usually have to get an accessorize it with the cadence sensor on it. And then you can actually see exactly what you're doing when you're doing it. So as you're climbing a hill and your cadence comes down, which is completely normal, but if you haven't used all your gears and your cadence is coming down, then it's an indication of, okay, I was at 80 or I was at 85 RPM, now I'm at 70 or 65 or whatever it is, I need to get into an easier gear. So, it's just about not getting too bogged down in your gear and then not spinning too fast so that it's too easy and you're not really going anywhere. And so those are my tips when it comes to cadence. There's so many more, but basically, getting it by computer so that you can actually gauge it. And, it's not something that you're going to have to watch for forever. Now I know what my cadence is. Typically I'm around 95 RPMs. That's from me personally because I've worked on it. And, when you get out there riding, try doing spin-ups, and work on that if you have a really low cadence. And sometimes when you get into moving at a higher cadence, you can sometimes feel not as stable, because when we push a big gear, we feel very stable in the bike and in control. When our cadence comes up a little higher, we feel not as secure, and that's completely normal and something that you'll just get used to. That doesn't last for forever. It's just, I feel completely stable when I'm spinning at 95 RPMs. It's just a new normal that you have to adjust to. So yeah, saves energy, get a bike computer, aim for 85 to 90. If you can't get that, just do 5 more RPMs than what you're currently doing. And don't get too bogged down in the gear. Don't spin too fast, find that sweet spot. And that's what you've got for today. So I hope you're all having an amazing day. and I will talk to you soon. Mwah. Bye.